An overnight shootout in Brooklyn. An NYPD officer rushed to the hospital after being shot. What the department says saved his life.
Finally getting a break from the May chill, even towards morning.
And New York Live with the pandemic pivot for an out-of-work Broadway worker that's shining a new light on the struggle for so many. This is News 4 Now for May 13th. I'm Rana Novini. An NYPD officer is recovering after an overnight shootout with a suspected gang member in Brooklyn. Officer Brian McGurran was released from the hospital this afternoon. He was responding to a previous shootout near Madison and Broadway. Investigators say he, along with two other officers, approached a man who was walking in the area, and that's when they say he pulled out a gun and opened fire. Police say the injured officer fired 9 shots in the exchange. He was hit 3 times, including 1 shot to his protective vest.
He is a 26-year-old male. He is a known gang member to the NYPD, and at the scene was recovered a firearm.
The 26-year-old suspect was hit once in the leg and is now in custody. The man accused of shooting 3 people in Times Square has faced a judge in Florida. Farrakhan Muhammad is awaiting extradition to New York to face attempted murder charges. He's being held in a jail outside of Jacksonville. U.S. Marshals and police tracked him to a Florida McDonald's where he apparently ran out of gas. Also arrested his girlfriend, Kristine Vergara. She is charged with accessory after the fact for allegedly driving him out of New York City and down south. Well, children ages 12 to 15 can now get the Pfizer COVID vaccine in the tri-state area. A CDC advisory panel voted to recommend the 2-dose vaccine for kids 12 and up. New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut have all cleared the way for people in that age group to get vaccinated. Officials here in the city say hundreds of appointments have been made and that vaccinating that age group started this morning. Vaccinating kids will be crucial to safely reopening schools this fall and also for summer camps and other events.
We have the ability to reach hundreds of thousands more New Yorkers amongst our youngest New Yorkers. They are the future of the city. We want them to be safe.
What would you tell parents out there?
I would really encourage them to get their kids vaccinated. My son is 15, 16, and he's about to get vaccinated as well.
This adds an additional 17 million to the amount of Americans eligible for the vaccine. Yankees pitching coach Matt Blake is now among the 7 coaches and staff members to contract COVID-19, and all 7 had been vaccinated. In the meantime, the Yankees pulled shortstop Gleyber Torres out of the lineup as a precaution. Yankees manager Aaron Boone says Torres also has been fully vaccinated and tested positive previously back in December. In Morris County, a 13-year-old boy owes his life to an off-duty police officer who raced to the rescue.
I don't really see it as being a hero. I feel good that I was able to help.
That is Matthew Levine springing into action in his Pequannock neighborhood. The reason, a boy on a bike was pinned under a moving SUV. The boy's friends screaming for the driver to stop, and then Levine grabbed a floor lift from his garage and used it to lift the SUV off of the bike rider. Levine's wife, who's a pediatric nurse, then helped pull the boy out.
It was my worst nightmare, and once I saw he wasn't wearing a helmet, everyone just has to wear one.
Amazingly, the boy was not seriously hurt, and the woman who was behind the wheel of the SUV was cited for careless driving. Also in New Jersey, a house that served as the set for the Amityville horror movies caught fire on Wednesday. It apparently started on a deck at the back of the house. It's located on Brooks Road in Toms River. A neighbor told reporters there that no one was home and there's no word of any injuries. The cause is still under investigation. And as you probably know, the real Amityville horror house was on Long Island. Well, it's another nice May-like day today, but Maria, with the nice weather comes the pollen.
It really did finally feel like a May afternoon after a cool start. It was a warm afternoon, but you can definitely see that it's May just based on the pollen count. So if you are going to spend some time enjoying the evening, it is going to be probably pretty difficult if you're an allergy sufferer with the tree pollen high, but the grass pollen is now measuring very high. So you absolutely will feel that. And really, we're going to continue that into tomorrow. What about this nice weather weather, well, with the lighter winds, a very comfortable evening. Temperatures falling into the low 60s with fair skies overnight. Temperatures will be dropping into the low 50s as opposed to the 40s that we've seen the last couple mornings. And gone are the 30s north and west. So nice to see a little warm up there, closer to average from Sussex and Poughkeepsie, 41 degrees. We'll see a low of 53 in the city and even warmer for the afternoon.
It has been a struggle for those working on Broadway. The Great White Way has been dark for over a year. New York Live with the candles keeping Broadway's spirit alive.
When Broadway dimmed its lights, 97,000 theater professionals were left without work. However, if there is one thing this community knows how to do, it is pivot, and that's exactly what stage manager Caskey Hunsader has done.
I was on the national tour of Miss Saigon working, and we were down in Florida, and you know, it was that week that everything started shutting down, and we heard Thursday night the Broadway shows had all closed, and we got word that they were going to be canceling. We were all going to go home that next Monday. So, not knowing if we had a show to come back to or not, we just kind of packed up everything and I flew home. And I've been in this apartment ever since.
Well, you're making good use of the apartment.
Yes. I'm glad I enjoy my apartment because I've been stuck here for a year. It's the longest I've been here all at once.
And then what was the light bulb moment for you when you said, you know what, I gotta do something, and hey, why not candles?
I was on the internet. I was just looking for something to do, figuring out something that I could make in this apartment, and just kind of snapped in my head, candles. My first batch was 160 candles, and I was terrified I wasn't gonna sell any of them. And I thought, well, if I don't, then I've got Christmas presents for friends for like the next several years. And cut to 6 months later, over 500 orders shipped, and right now in my warehouse, I've got about 1,800 candles sitting there, so it's a far cry from the 160 I originally made.
I love that you came up with a way to just give everybody a little taste of Broadway, a little scent of Broadway, you know, while we're still on this intermission.
Yeah, every one of my fragrances is inspired specifically by a character from Broadway, and I just wanted to tie it tightly to theater so that people could bring the memory of a show into their home and enjoy it. So you can light a candle, put on a Broadway cast recording, and like try to have that feeling of theater again. But yeah, I can't wait to shower my friends with these gifts and let them celebrate being back in a dressing room.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.